So for this example, we're going to use a while loop to control a menu. And I'm going to do it in several versions. One where the menu is actually defined within the main function, and then I'll have the menu in another function that we call. So let's keep it simple first. Oops, let me just go ahead and do an include stdio.h. And you have your system pause here to hold the screen. And then return 0. Okay. All right, so let's save this file. And this would be a .c file. And this would be my loop 5. Okay, let me reflect that over here as well. That would be my loop 5. Okay, and let's say we want to display a menu. Okay, so maybe something like this, int choice, and we want that variable to have a value so we can prime the loop. Okay, so we could do something like this, equals 0 if you want to get in the loop, right? So we could do that, and we could say something like while choice equals 0, and we're going to remain inside of this loop here, and something like this, maybe something printf main menu /n, and then we'll have printf maybe 1. Let's say we're doing a calculation, addition, and /n, and then printf, and that would be 2 subtraction. That'd be a /n here. We could do something like this. Then we'll ask the user to enter a choice, printf. Okay. Enter your operation, choice. Something like this. And let's do a scanf. And that would be %d. And probably n %choice. Now, here's what I'm going to do. To remain in the loop, in case you pick anything other than 1, 2, if you could do something like this, choice is less than 1, or choice is greater than 2. So that means you picked anything other than 1 and 2. Bring choice back to 0. That will keep you in the loop. Else, do nothing. So you don't need an else for this. And let's see how this behaves. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be outside the loop, confirming what I picked. So printf. Okay. You picked this operation. You could do something like this. Now notice I'm going to write it right next to it, or do it something like this. If choice was equal to 1, then printf addition /n, else choice was 2. So choice, I'm sorry, you don't need to do anything else other than printf you will not get out of that loop unless you've picked 1 or 2. So no need to worry about what else you can have here. You can either have 1 or 2. So subtraction /n. And let's see how this behaves. Okay, so let's compile and run. And here's your menu. Let's say I pick 9. As you can see, I remain in the loop. Let's say I pick a 0. Well, that will keep me there. Let's say I pick 1 though. You pick this operation, addition, and the program ends. Let's run this again. And let's pick 2 now. To see how it behaves with 2 as well, you're out of the loop and you're out. So this is how you would control a menu of this nature within main, for example, based on this is okay if you're sequential 1 and 2, and then you can exclude that range for errors. As a matter of fact, you could actually enhance this program and actually you could say something like this: printf %d is an invalid choice /n. So you could display what choice was as an error message. And then remember to put a curly brace for this. This is a whole block. And let's test it out this way as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and try it again. Compile and run. Okay. And let's pick 9. You should get a message. 9 is an invalid choice. And then main menu again. Let's say I pick 0. 0 is an invalid choice. Okay. So basically it's coaching you to either enter 1 or 2. Right? So if I enter 1, fine. That would be the addition. I don't get that error message. So everything looks good. Now what I'm going to do is do the same example where the menu is actually defined outside of main. Okay. So let's go ahead and start another program. And this one will be again called my loop 6 this time, .c. Using a while loop to control or to view a menu. Okay. Today's date again, 03, and we're 28, 2020. So include stdio.h, and this time I'm going to have my menu right here. So, and it will return an integer. So whatever your choice is, this function will return it. So menu, and let me just open curly brace, close curly brace. I'll come back to it in a minute. Just let me write into main here, and then my system pause here, and we'll do the same thing. Return 0 here, close curly brace. So we'll have the menu here, right? So we could have something like this in choice, and we could put our menu, our loop within that function, or we could do the loop in main. Let's do the loop in main. So here, this simply will call the menu. And we could do something like this, printf. Let's center it to the screen, /t main menu /n. Let's make it pretty. So printf and /t, and there you have it, /n. And let's go ahead and do a printf, and we're going to choose same thing, operations in terms of, let's say we're building a small calculator. This would be addition, /n. And let's do something like this, printf. And that would be a /t to subtraction. Let's capitalize that. Let's do a /n here. As a matter of fact, you know what? I want to add one more line before this. Let's do a system clear. So every time you call this, it will clear the screen. Okay? And so that would be CLS, which is the DOS command for clearing the screen in a Windows environment. Okay? Then I'll do something like this. Printf. Enter your choice. And then scanf %d and choice. Don't forget to put the %. You're storing it at that memory location. Make sure now that your function returns that choice back to the calling function. So how are we going to do it? In main, I am going to have a loop. So let's suppose I have a local variable called int option or option. And I want to set it up where it's equal to 0, similar to the example we just did here. And we could say while option equals 0. So remember, 2 equals, that means you're comparing. So I've primed it. I know I'm going to go inside the loop. As a matter of fact, I will do the system pause within the loop itself to hold the screen for me. Okay, and close the curly brace here. Okay, so let me just line these up. The first thing I'm going to do is call the function menu and make option equals menu. Now, when you do that, the menu might return 1, 2, 0, -3, 200, whatever the user entered. So you need some sort of logic here to filter out that value and either change it back to 0 in case it's the wrong value, just like I did with the previous example, or just leave it alone and it'll kick you out of the loop. And if it kicks you out of the loop, you're going to be here where printf, you picked this option. And let's just print the number for now, %d and /n, and that would be option. It's going to be either just playing 1 or 2. So here, I'm going to have an if statement. If, and again, the logic is going to be the same. Option is less than 1, or option is greater than 2, which means I'm in the invalid range. Open curly brace, close curly brace. I'm going to do a block of things here. And I'm going to go ahead and printf error, wrong option. /n. And while you do that, do not forget to reset the option to 0 to remain in the loop. So option equals 0. Otherwise, you're going to be out of the loop, right? So you want to keep it in the loop in this case. That is your loop control. All right, well, let's see how this behaves. And we're going to call this one my loop 6, and it's a .c program. Let's compile and run. Oh, forgot a semicolon over here. Compile and run. There you go. Notice how neatly centered this thing is. So if I pick a 1, notice how it's going to say press any key to continue. And this went too fast. So system pause here again. Just so you can see that's what you picked. Let's do it again. Compile and run. And let's pick something else, like -1. Error, wrong option. It clears it out. You're back on the menu. Let's say I pick an 80. We know that we're going to get the same thing. Error, wrong option. Press any key to continue. Let's say we picked 1 this time. Press any key to continue. You picked option 1. Press any key to continue, or out. The only reason I have it twice in here, it's because I want to make sure that I am back in the menu. Maybe I should have had this one. Let me just cut it right here. It's just too many press any key to continue. Do it right here. Let's see if that logic is better. Okay, so let's compile and run. And let's pick the wrong thing. So I pick 0. We know that's the wrong thing. Press any key to continue. -1. Same thing. Press any key to continue. But if I pick 1, you pick this option. So notice I don't have the press any key to continue twice, okay? By just moving it in the block where you were testing if you were within a certain range. Okay? So I hope this helped seeing how you could use a while loop to drive a menu. There is a better option to do this, and that would be the do while loop, where you will at least execute what's inside the loop once. And that will be the content of our next video.